root word, all right? So we'll do stemming. We have some pre-processing step. We'll do stemming. So all these forms of words need to be made converted to a lower form, all right? Talk. Say there are other form called lemmatization, in which the root word need not be. That is the difference between stemming and lemmatization. Lemmatization makes your root word to be a word in a dictionary. Say this talking will be made as a talk, right? Whereas argue, in the case of stemming, will make it to a root word like argue will be made as argu, because argument has a root word argu, right? So it doesn't bother about whether it is in dictionary or not, right? Stemming doesn't bother, whereas lemmatization will do it according to your dictionary, right? And we'll have all these forms of words in this level. So we'll have a morphology analysis, we do tokenization, then we'll go with lemmatization in this phase, right? In this level. Then we'll go with the next level called the part of speech tagging. In this part of speech tagging, every word in a sentence will be tagged, whether is it a subject or is it a verb or is it a noun, or what is the nature of that particular this one, right? So we'll do this part of speech tagging so that the processing will be more easy, right? So the next level is syntactic parsing, wherein we'll have the rules, right? We generally much bother about grammar in the second paper, like English and Tamil, right? There we'll be taught what are all the various, you'll be given a sentence, asked to write what is the form of the sentence. We write SVO, SVOA, right? Those are all the things. It gives a rule. What is a rule for making a sentence? Is it a valid sentence or correct sentence, right? So that is what a syntactic parsing is. It will parse a sentence so that the sentence could have a rule, right? And coming to the semantics, it is a meaning. So when I'm talking about this, say a name entity recognizer is there. Idea is that given a word, is it a place or an organization or a name will be tagged from it. And if a particular word has one or more sense, how it could be. Or when I am going for a replacement of a particular word, just like that, I cannot replace. All right. So I need to think of the context, the nearby word, so that I can replace another word which doesn't held up with the word sense disambiguation. Right. And next one is semantic role labeling. So we'll explain about who did this, for what, why, how. Those questions can be better handled with this semantic role labeling. So we know who is an agent, what he did, and what is that, so that the questions like whom, where, how can be easily handled with this, right? And coming to this discourse, discourse is basically a connectivity, or say the speech is very interesting because it deals with the text processing. So both the sentences are connected through a because, and it says that something related to this, right? So how you are connecting two sentences, whether you are using some explicit word in between or implicitly it is getting connected, all those things will be better handled in this level, discourse level, right? And say when I am talking about this discourse, most of the applications like what to say, automatic descriptive question, descriptive answer checking. When I am talking about descriptive answer checking, there the discourse part plays a vital role. Why? Because the answer need to be connected. I can't give the answer in a jumbled way, right? So you need to have a connectivity between those sentences, and this discourse analysis plays a vital role in making the evaluation of the descriptive this one, right? Right. And coming to this, with all these introduction, we understood that text processing is everywhere, and we come to know that various levels of NLP and what is that, all those stuff, right? And there is thing behind this NLP. What is that? Is it is hard. Why it is hard, that we need to know, right? Seeing all those things or using the applications as such, we feel that it is so simple, or we feel that it is just like that, but it is not the real case. The behind the scene is very tough or hard. There are so many reasons for it. The first reason is ambiguity. We have ambiguity, we have scale, sparsity, variation, expressivity, unmodeled variable, unknown representation. I'll explain one by one. Right? Ambiguity in the sense, it has ambiguity at various levels, from the basic level to semantic level. Right? When I talk about bank, in a particular sentence, this can have one or more sense. This could be either a finance bank or it could be a river bank. This can be easily interpreted with the neighboring words only. Or else it can be a word like chair. This chair could be either a noun or a verb, right? I'm sessioning a chair, or I'm sitting in a chair, right? So based on whether it is going to be used as a verb or noun decides this. And moreover, when a sentence is like this, I can see a man with a telescope. Does it mean a person whom I'm seeing is with the telescope, or am I seeing the man through the telescope? Right? And I made her duck. It does, whether it means that you are preparing a duck for her, or you are making her down, or what, right? So we have different levels of interpretation. It's just like how we interpret, right? And moreover, we human have a tendency of speaking sarcasm, right? So those things are very hard to take it into NLP and do it, right? And how we are going to deal, but it doesn't mean that all these issues are not solved, or you are having all this as an opening in the research. Almost all these things are solved. Only problem is people are now trying to improve the performance. These applications are done with a performance of 98% or 9. So people trying to increase its performance or increasing its accuracy, right? And this ambiguity can be easily solved using a probabilistic model like HMM, POS tagging, all those things. And we had all these models earlier, and it is doing it in a better way, right? Still, even with that, we have some issues, but need to be taken care while you are implementing, right? And when we are going to work with any applications or any this one, we need to have a corpora. So for this NLP also, we need to have a corpora of text. If you are working with Python, you will be defaultly downloading all those corpus to make use of your this one, right, operations. And earlier, people are good at doing most of the problems using a statistical NLP. Still, people are using it. Not earlier. People are still using it. Certain things can be done better with a statistical NLP. And variations are there. Why? Because when I run a model with a particular corpora, it doesn't mean that same thing can work with some other data set also. Because you are training the model. I'll explain this part later. Just have it in your mind that I cannot just use the same thing for my model. So there I need to again train this in a different way, right? And expressivity. So this says that the tone in which people speak will differ. So how system is going to understand? So idea is that it is not hard for human to understand. We are going to write an algorithm for a system to understand these things. That is a problem, right? So we need to represent. So I'll come to that point at the end. So we have common sense while we are dealing with the sentence. We human has a used to have apply common sense and we'll interpret. Say for example, world knowledge. I dropped the glass on the floor and it broke. We know that this glass is obviously a material which can easily gets broken, but not a floor, right? But how system will interpret this? And I dropped the hammer on the glass and it broke. It means that obviously glass will break and not the hammer, right? And these common world knowledge need to be given to the machine to understand, right? And coming to this, that is whatever we do, this general knowledge, everything needs a better representation, or we need to focus more on representation so that that could be handled by these applications in a better way, right? We have various that is the languages versus you'll have multilingual, and we have various modes like text to speech, all those things, and we have various genres. It doesn't mean that if it is working for a particular medical field, it works for legal field also, or if it is working for media kind of stuff, it will work for education, right? So this will also vary, and the style, the text style will also vary. All these things plays a vital role. So you need to focus, or all these things need to be taken care very clearly while we are applying it for NLP, right? For this model. So generally, how this is going to be processed, or what are all the phases we are having. So we'll be giving it as a pre-processing. So pre-processing steps we'll be doing it. Once it is done, it will be tokenized, and we'll apply a mathematical representation of a language unit. So whatever we are going to give as an input need to be represented in some other form. Once it is done, we'll be train the system, and we'll be doing it, and then we'll be testing your model. Finally, we'll be getting we'll be checking with its accuracy, precision, all those stuff, right? And across all these NLP tasks, whatever you do, either it is a sentiment analysis or a NER, whatever it could be, summarization or anything, what is a common between all those applications or all those operations is how we represent